So guys, we are on our way to take a look at a 2022 Forester Wilderness, and this is an odd case to say the least. I'm going to try to catch you up on what I know as we're on the 30-minute drive to check this car out. So just the other day, I was contacted by one of my cousins about a friend of theirs 2022 Forester Wilderness Edition having an issue. Now, neither of them are very proficient in automobiles, nor, exactly how to describe what happened. So I'm trying to figure it out. I've talked to now the owner after talking to my cousin. But it appears that the owner's son was driving the car. They were on the interstate, and they had an engine oil warning light come on. The red one for the oil pressure, not the yellow one with the waves under it for oil level. They pulled off as soon as they could, turned the engine off, looked underneath for any kind of oil slick or any kind of oil spillage, looked underneath for any oil leakage, checked the engine oil, found there was oil in the engine, and then they went to go restart the engine, and all they got was a click. The engine would not restart. So it sounds to me like they lost oil pressure and the engine seized, as it would not even attempt to crank when they went back to hit the starter button. Now, again, I don't know any of this for sure. This is just what they have told me. I've not checked the car out. That's what we're on the way to do now. We're going down there to see if the engine is actually seized or if somehow there was an issue with the battery. I doubt it that, the battery died and it would not start at the same time. It sounds to me like an engine seizure, which is crazy with it being a 2022 and only having 81,000 miles on the clock. If that's what happened, that's pretty insane for an engine failure at 81,000 miles. So that's what we're going to do today. That's where we're on the way to. So I will bring you guys back when we're there and taking a look at the Forester and have a better idea of what happened and our plan of attack in repairing the issue. So guys, we've made it down here to where the Forester is at, and I can finally get hands-on with it. And I've already talked to the owner, and I've already been through everything on it, so not going to go through new discovery with you guys. I've pretty much figured out what the issue is, and I don't like it. I really don't. So to reiterate the story, driving on the interstate about 70, 75 mile an hour, red, low oil pressure light pops on, pull off on their exit, come to a stop sign, cut the car off, jump out, check for oil leaks, anything underneath the car, pop the hood. They pull the dipstick. We'll do right now just to show you that it is full of oil. It is right there to the dot. It is a little bit dark, but it is full of oil, so it was not running low on oil. And then they jump back in the car after checking everything looking good, hit the starter button, and all they had was a click. No crank, no anything, nothing. So first thing I wanted to do was put a ratchet and a socket on this thing and see if it was locked up. And unfortunately, this engine is completely seized at 81,700 miles, I believe. We'll go and look at the odometer in a minute. But I've put my full force, my full 235 pounds behind this thing, and I could only get it to budge just a hair. And also thinking, something in the serpentine belt drive might be seized. I pulled the belt off, everything free spins, alternator, AC, compressor, water pump, nothing there is dragging the engine. It is the engine bottom end that is seized up. So looking preliminarily, did notice that there is no coolant in the reservoir. It is bone dry. Also, the operator hose is soft squishy. Pulled the cap. There is no coolant in the top part of the radiator. As you can see, there's nothing there. There's a little bit on that little lip where it bends down to the neck, but it's low. It's probably down to the bottom of the neck here, or probably down below the tank here on the radiator. It is quite low. So this thing has been burning some coolant, using some coolant. Has not been burning oil apparently because it is still full, but definitely has locked up the engine. Now, what would cause this kind of failure on this new of a Forester with this low mileage? Hard to say, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth, so we hooked up the scan tool. That's why you hear this buzzing noise right now. We got the ignition on. We got the Top Down Phoenix Max hooked up. Went through, did a code scan, and I'll show you what I found really quickly on that. So We are right there, 81,723 miles. Not a lot of miles, but we are out of Subaru's factory warranty, which is 3 years, 36, unless they got the extended, which we're not sure about. They're trying to find their paperwork now. Went through, did a code scan, a lot of red in here. We'll go through the diagnostic plan, and we'll talk about what I think actually where the failure was or what contributed to this engine seizing. Hard to say without actually doing an in-depth autopsy, so to say, failure analysis of actually getting inside the engine. So we've got several timing codes. We've got camshaft position timing over advanced, camshaft A, camshaft B, timing over advanced. Let's see, bank 1, bank 2, crankshaft position, camshaft position, correlation, bank 1, sensor B, cam position, slow response, camshaft position, slow response. Then we've got more of the same duplicate codes for over advanced timing, bank 1, bank 2, and crankshaft or camshaft position, crankshaft position correlation. We have a stability malfunction. We have engine stall history. We have camshaft position sensor again, engine stall history, auto vehicle hold switch. We got a bunch of TPMS stuff. They had a TPMS sensor bad, lost communication with telemetrics, radar voltages, backup camera, just some lower voltage things, driver's power window stuck. So with the engine stall, the customer thinks they cut the engine off, but it might have stalled when they got to the stop sign. I believe this car does have auto start stop, or it should, being a 22, so they might have thought that it stopped automatically, but in actuality the engine stalled. So the only thing that I can think of, or logically thinking backwards to do, is from what I've seen both physically if the engine and with the codes here, they were driving down the road, they lost oil pressure, the oil pressure sensor or the oil pressure light came on as they were getting off their exit, coming down from 75 mile an hour or so on the interstate. As they came to the stop sign, engine stopped with the auto start stop or stalled out at this point because of the stall code. And when it did, it was due to the fact that when they came down, the oil pressure went away, that the time and chain tensioners are tensioned two different ways. They have a spring, or they have their own spring tension in them, but they're also backed up and supplemented with engine oil pressure. So if that engine oil pressure went away from those time and chain tensioners and this engine is still ripping some RPMs, that could have slacked the chains, caused some jumping of the chains, and caused the chains to jump and given us that cam crank correlation code. And basically we had pistons hit valves. So I'm assuming the root cause here is an oil pump failure. The oil pump failure caused low oil pressure. Low oil pressure starved the time and chain tensioners of extra tensioning oil pressure. The chains started slapping around. Jump timing, cam or pistons hit valves, locked the engine up. Like I said, I've put the big hot set ratchet on there. I cannot budge this engine. Like, I put my whole weight on it. It is seized. It is tighter than a tick. Like I said, they tried to start it. I'm not going to burn their starter motor up, but they tried to start it. All it did was click. So engine's locked up. That is the only thing I can deduce without, pulling spark plugs, running a borescope in there, which I didn't bring with me. The only thing I brought with me was the Top Don Phoenix Max. I brought a ratchet, a 22 millimeter socket, a 19 millimeter socket. I brought a mechanic stethoscope in case I could get it started and listen for any engine noise. I did not bring a full toolkit with me. I did not bring a borescope. I kind of regret that. I would have loved to pull a plug on this thing and seen, or, look down in there to see if there was actual mechanical damage between valves and piston, or if just the bottom end locked up, seized up. We could have had just all the main bearing seized from low oil pressure. It's hard to say. We're going to have to send a call to Subaru America's hotline, the advocacy hotline, explaining the situation. But with me not being a dealer tech, I can't go any further, and it not being my car, I can't go any further. So they're going to take the car to a local Subaru dealership, let them do the failure analysis, and then they're going to get on the horn with Subaru of America and put in an advocacy case for this engine be covered under warranty, because engine oil was changed, engine had oil in it. And at 80,000 miles, this was a premature engine failure. It should not have happened. We just don't know what happened or what caused it. Hopefully we'll know, and if we do find out from the owner, I'll make another follow-up video or a post telling you guys what happened. But this is definitely not the norm, an 80,000 mile engine failure, especially this severe. So that's what we know. Odd case, very odd, not a norm for Subarus. And hopefully we'll have some answers in the coming weeks or month. So guys, back home now, and before we cut out the video, I've done a little bit of thinking on the way home, and another possibility to this failure could be the RTV silicone found in the oil pickups. Now, most of us know that that issue was effective on mostly FA24s in the BRZ, FRS, GT86, etc. Well, not the FRS. The FRS did not continue into the FA24, but you know what I mean. So there was the issue with excess silicone at the time of manufacturing, squeezing out, breaking off, and winding up in the oil pan, subsequently being pulled into the oil pickup tube and partially blocking the oil pump pickup. That is another possibility here. This vehicle was built in November of 2021, so it is a late production 2022 model, or early production model for 2022. That was right shortly after COVID. Lockdowns and stuff for a lot of places were still going on. There could have been some issues with the manufacturing. You just never know. I really would like to be on the teardown of this engine, be able to go through and do the failure analysis, but not being at a Subaru dealership, I cannot. And with the limited amount of things I could check, limited ability to be invasive with this, you know, it's mostly speculatory until we get the information back from Subaru. So the car is now scheduled to go to a local Subaru dealership in Charlotte. Hopefully the owner will know something here soon, and as soon as she finds out, she will let me know. And again, I will make a follow-up video or post or something letting you guys know, or pin a comment down below on what is found and what the outcome is, whether Subaru of America will goodwill it or cover half of the engine or whatever it comes out to be. I honestly don't think that this is the failure, or the failure is the fault of the customer. It seems to be some kind of manufacturing defect, either, like I said, the silicone issue with it clogging up the oil pickup, or just something failing in the bottom end or in the timing set. Something happened, we lost oil pressure, and the engine locked up. That's what we know at the end of the day, plus the codes for the timing advancement and cam crank correlation and the engine stall make me think that it jumped timing and there was piston to valve clash. So again, speculating. Love to know what happens, and we'll keep you guys up to date. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know we didn't do very much in form of action, but it is a thinker and a head scratcher, so leave your theories down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future Subaru and tool content. I'll see you guys in the next one.